Cutwaters are like my go-to right now. If you don't know what cutwaters are, how could I describe them? They're like almost like spirits. You know what I mean? Not I wouldn't call them seltzers, but I'm sure there's some type of carbonation in it called Cutwater from San Diego. Well, they're 12.5%, and they sell them in 4-pack. There's like 4 12-ounce cans. Now they hit. General rule of thumb that I've been finding lately with these Cutwaters: if I drink one, I'm good. If I drink two, it's like okay, I'm getting there. 3, I'm tipsy. If for some reason I finish 4, guaranteed I'm gonna pass out somewhere. That's just a general rule of thumb with these Cutwaters. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. But I enjoy it to a fault because then I end up passing out somewhere. That's a fact. And guess what? I don't care. I'm okay with it. I acknowledge. I take it in. I'm like, I know what this is going to do to me. I know what this third one's going to do to me. And I know what the fourth one is going to do to me. And I'm all here for it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I'm your host, Albert Fig, the number one podcast within my head. That's true. That's a fact. That's not made up. And the number one podcast within a 5-mile radius of this recording studio. I've dubbed it, and that's the truth. And I'm living in my truth, so don't take me down, and you can't convince me otherwise. But welcome to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. Solo episode. I haven't done a solo one, and I don't remember how long I've been doing a bunch of guest-oriented ones or guest-driven ones, so bear with me on this one because the nerves are definitely there, and I haven't done it in a minute, so it feels good. It feels good to just sit here, you know what I'm saying, and be in my own thoughts and make fun of myself and talk about stuff that's irrelevant, but relevant at the same time, and not irrelevant to anybody of you, but not relevant to me, but something that I want to talk about, if that makes sense, and just, rambling on and maybe tell a story, here and there, and then get into some hypocritical reasonables for sure, but so a solo one. I haven't done a solo one. And I wanted to actually lead off with the solo one when I came back from the small little hiatus that I did. But instead, I had a guest-oriented one specifically with Peasy, a.k.a. Anthony. And that was like a good comeback episode 1 because it gave me someone else here to kind of bounce the topic or bounce the idea off of and get like another feedback or another person's perspective, from the outside looking in. And kind of just vent on that aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? So it was good to start that one off that way as opposed to a solo one. And then ever since then, it's just literally been like a all gears and full range of motion. And, once the wheels start turning, it's been going. So because of that, it was a lot of guest driven ones and a lot of guest episodes that I definitely think y'all should check it out. Going back from whether it's the Peasy episode, the Julio episode, the Will episode, the Blowing Smoke episode, the Just One Take session episode, all those are guest driven and they've been like, back to back to back to back. So yeah, that's why I said it's been a minute without a solo one. And the thing about solo ones too is that I constantly have to look into the camera, to y'all. If you're not watching, check it out so you can know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kind of awkward because I see myself, and now that I have like this monitor here, so it's like fully see. I definitely could see that I have no idea what I'm doing with my hair, bro. I can't figure out fully my hairstyle or like what it's going on or what I'm doing with it. So I'm just kind of learning as I'm going. I never had my hair this long, and seeing it now like within the monitor, like that I can see for reference, I'm like, what is going on with my hair, dog? Now, granted, I do have a haircut appointment scheduled for tomorrow, so there's that. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with it. I'm sure I'll figure it out later. But as of right now, I'm just going to let it grow until I get tired of it, until I get annoyed of it, and then I might cut the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not used to having long hair because I have thick hair. And a lot of people, when they say, like, well, I have thick hair, they think they have thick hair, so they come around me, and then it's like, oh, you really have thick hair. And on top of that, I got the Mexican hair that doesn't go in a specific direction, right? It's not straight to where it goes back or to the side. It's not curly. It's not one that you can it's not thin to where you could just comb it one time, you feel me? And then that thing stays put. Now my hair grows, it's thick as fuck. And then it grows outward and then just kind of once it gets to a point where it's heavy, it kind of just sits there. And then trying to tame it in one direction doesn't work because it's too thick. It starts to pop back out. It's like grass. When you step on grass and it comes right back up, that's exactly how my hair is, like, no joke. And then on top of that, too, they'll tell me, oh, you should train it, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. And it's like, bro, I have. And this shit still goes like this. It's like you could train it for like however long you think. And you take one shower and you wash your hair, all gone. I don't know why my hair does that, but it does that. And then it's annoying to West. Like, bro, I'm talking about I've wore do-rags. I've wore nightcaps. I've tried. I've even like used the moco gel. You know, like, oh man, this is definitely giving away my age, but they used to have this gel. I mean, I'm pretty sure they still have it, but there was this gel called moco gel or some shit like that. I forget what it was. It's like Gorilla Glue of fucking of hair gels. That's how strong this stuff was. This is no joke. Moco something, right? And then I've used that. I've used pomades. I've used Got to Be Glued. Another throwback for you. I've used all kinds of different stuff, so it's tough to like say exactly which one. But I just recently discovered the blow dryer stuff. Probably way behind on that one, but I just learned about blow dryer type of stuff. So maybe I'll give that one to a check. But anyway, moving past that, everything regardless of my hair. The what was I gonna bring up to? Shit. In regards to the podcast, right? So it's getting to a point right now with the podcast that it's like getting to a point where it's like a make or break type of thing, because it's like becoming the business side, the business aspect of it that I was talking about like a few episodes ago are just now coming to fruition. So business wise, I have to figure out some stuff, and I have to, kind of guide and push it in the right direction now that it's, there's, monetization status is coming on with it. I'm trying to navigate through that and trying to sort through that, and also make it, see, I'm getting lost again, but make it a thing that's profitable, that it's, because it is there, but now I have to manage a few things without giving away technical terms. Not that I know it, but without giving away too much, I gotta get a second opinion with all that stuff, because now it's all like coming like as like a thing, like, yo, it's here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like trying to navigate through that, and I'm learning a few things from peers in the space, from my own research, from my own findings, and getting advice from some people that I feel like I have an idea or a direction that I'm going to hit, or at least I would like to. I would say, same thing with the set, constant changing as always with all these. So these I don't think people see like the pillows, and if you're listening, you won't be able to like catch this, but these pillows are for the guests that come right here, and I don't think you guys have ever seen them maybe like displayed right here, because I'll be honest with you, I come right here and it's like I don't feel like moving anything. I'm just gonna leave it as is, and I'm just gonna be centered on this one. So hopefully it's not too distracting with the amount of changes you might see and everything. And yeah, I'm figuring all that out. But anyway, moving past all that, this week's solo episode, I'm gonna go straight into some topics, things that I want to break down, hit, and then some of the questionnaire stuff that I put, because I put like a sticker thing on the Instagram, the stories about like, what should we talk about this solo one coming in clutch. And some of them, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not gonna say obviously, but some of them, it's like I definitely can't talk about that because it doesn't make any sense to. And some of them are just like little funny reply stories for everything. But one of them was just like a recap of what went on this past weekend, or what I got into. Honestly, this weekend flew by so fast that it's tough to kind of dissect, especially since it was being a lot, right? So we'll start with this past weekend, this Saturday, right? So Saturday was a pretty chill, normal ass day, waking up, had my son, kind of kicking it. And where did we go from there? I feel like I'm missing something, but I can't remember what. Oh, no. Actually, I was back. So I was in King City and San Lucas on Friday. So I had stayed the night at my mom's spot. And that was really good too, to stay the night there, because I really don't go and stay the night too often. Even when I go back and visit, it's like a visiting type of thing. And there's like almost 4 different places we go at a time when we do visit. And it's like we're trying to manage between, taking, and parents, if you watching or listening, you'll understand this. You try to have to navigate and try to, space out and carve out time for visitation for like all parties involved. So you might go to one grandparent's house, and you might go to another grandparent's house. You might go to your tío's house or your tia's house, and you might go to your sibling spot, or, if you're fortunate enough that everybody's within a, 30-minute vicinity, then it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's great because everybody's right there, but it's also a lot to deal with because then you got to make that time. Because you're so close, it's easy for you to be like, yo, we can't do that, and yo, we can't do that, So normally a lot of times when we take little man, we're staying over here but visiting over here, and then going to a lunch over here, and then going to a dinner over here, but then taking time to move it, go over here, and then you just got to see grandma for at least this amount of time, and then you have your sister, so it's a lot in that aspect. But this time I was able to be there by myself, and I had the actual freedom of time and the leisure to choose, a spot that I would really wanted to go in, and that was my mom's spot. So I was able to be there, hang out with her, see my little brothers, see my tia, see my grandma, my tío, the homie Anthony, and then I was able to stay the night there, and I drove back. So that's how I started my Saturday morning. 6 a.m. I got up and drove from San Lucas back to here in Sacramento, and got to spend time, and got to barbecue. We had some people over. We watched Game Bread Boxing 4, I want to say, on pay-per-view, which is Jorge Masvidal's Game Bread Boxing thing. And it was really something to do rather than just be excited for. It was like, yo, we're going to turn on the grill, we're going to drink and watch some boxing. And it's cool boxing too. It's not like high stakes, freaking, number one contender, crazy big name stars. Now this is like entertainment boxing, which was definitely entertaining. And then afterwards, it was great too. I don't remember much of it because I ended up falling asleep. But afterwards, I remember I was up and then fell asleep. And you ever had this moment like with alcohol, right? So I've been on. Let me backtrack a little. So I've been on these Cutwaters kick for a minute, right? So Cutwaters are like my go-to right now. If you don't know what Cutwaters are, they're like, how could I describe them? They're like almost like spirits. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call them seltzers, but I'm sure there's some type of carbonation in it. But they're called Cutwaters, right? From San Diego and shit. Well, they're 12.5%, and they sell them in 4-packs. When you buy a 4-pack, there's like 4 12-ounce cans. Now they hit, right? And a general rule of thumb that I've been finding lately with these Cutwaters is that if I drink 1, I'm good. If I drink 2, it's like, okay, I'm getting there. 3, I'm tipsy. I'm tipsy. If for some reason I finish 4, guaranteed I'm gonna pass out somewhere. That's just a general rule of thumb with these Cutwaters. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. But I enjoy it to a fault because then I end up passing out somewhere. That's a fact. And guess what? I don't care. I'm okay with it. I acknowledge. I take it in. I'm like, I know what this is gonna do to me. I know what this third one's gonna do to me, and I know what the fourth one is gonna do to me. And I'm all here for it. You know what I'm saying? So that put me out there for the rest of that night. And that was typical of the Sunday. I mean, the Saturday. Sunday morning, woke up, typical shit, nothing crazy. But I went to go meet up with Big Josh. We went to Golden Road Brewing just to like tap in with each other. We haven't like kicked it like outside of like going to places like individual, like one-on-one. We haven't kicked it like in a minute. So that was cool. And it's always tough to like, I want to like have the homies on, you know what I'm saying, like on the podcast, but I don't want to make it. I'm trying to balance between like I want to ask them to be on, but I don't want to make it seem like the only time we're kicking it is when we're on the podcast. Like I kind of want to have a separation of it to keep it like real as opposed to like transactional, right? Or making it seem like I'm just using, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to balance all that. So I wanted to kick it individually as opposed to a podcast setting, which I got to get. The reason why I bring that up and say that is because we talked about bringing him on, and maybe we could do that this upcoming Sunday or something, because he's definitely one of the favorites to come on because he's funny as shit, and it makes the conversation flow, and it's easy for me like that. So we left there, went to Sac Food Market, something like that, off of Howe Avenue, and that's something I've enjoyed doing more lately, is going to these markets, whether it's like a lunch market, food market, farmer's market, fly kicks market, and vintage clothing. Like a lot of it has a lot of vintage stuff, but it's like a clothing market, like vendor, I've been going to those lately a lot more. and they're like super cool. You know what I mean? You're supporting local businesses and supporting local artists, vendors, and people who are just, you know what I'm saying? They get a tent out, and you go show love and go show support. So that was definitely cool to go to. And then from there, me, the homie Juno, the homie Will, we took off to San Francisco, and we went to the Rockwell off of Fillmore Street. And we want to go. It was really to support one of the homies, one of the podcast alums, Don Caprice. He just recently dropped a new album, and he opened up a different studio at a new studio, I would call it, but in a different location, right? So it was album drop release, new studio opening, and performance, right? So he performed 3 songs. And so it was really to go support, go show love, and kick it and enjoy ourselves, at the same time. So yeah, we did. We pulled up over there. We were there till about 9 something. And you know what I'm saying? We kicked it. You got to see him perform. And I love to do that, man. I love to be the supporting thing and being able to show love when I can, because I know, I guess in the grand scheme of things, or in the bigger picture, for a lot of people, it might not necessarily seem like much, or not. It doesn't seem like maybe it's, going for, like it's going to make a huge difference. But to that person or to that individual, it does. It means the world to them in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So, and the same applies too for not just for artists or people that, your homies that you want to show love for, but it's for people that, you know what I'm saying, like that are creatives in their own small business, whatever that lane is, you know what I'm saying? So whether that's selling food, selling merch, creating paintings, photography, videography, whatever it is, I think it's important to support them like that, and doing it in a thing where he has a performance. It's like you're showing up for it, And there's no, also, here's another thing too. There's no metric, or there's no way to gauge and measure what that support is. So whether that's purchasing something, which I've already fucking like talked about so many times, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at that point, or it's physically showing up somewhere, whatever it is, whatever way of supporting, liking something on Instagram, whatever it is, whatever way of supporting that is to you is a way of supporting. So that was really cool to do. And yeah, definitely got to do some more stuff like that. And it's also cool to just be there, you know what I'm saying, and kick it. So that was always a win-win and a plus on my end. At least I think so. You feel me? You dig. One of the replies for it, literally, can't make this up. One of the story replies from it just said, because I put, what should we talk about? What we get into? And it literally just said, ass and titties. Here's the thing. I enjoy both. I would love to break that down and talk about it, but the thing is that I'm not just some creep and someone who's desperate enough to talk about all that stuff right now on a solo podcast. If I had someone here, maybe with Big Josh, maybe with Josh is the one, I would do ass and titties. Ass and titties, you know what I'm saying? But I can't talk about that too much. And the other one said, I mean, there's a few of them that could have, you know what I mean? But a few of them that came to mind was Lily actually replied to it and put the goddamn Jets, which was fucking hilarious to me because Big Daddy is one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. And the goddamn Jets. So hilarious. You had me dying laughing, Lily. That was hilarious. But no, the other one actually, topic-wise and everything, was talking about, was actually one for the hypocritical or reasonable, which I'm going to get into right freaking now because, the solo ones, I keep them around like the 30-minute mark because who wants to listen to me go past 30 minutes, right? So past the topics one, let's jump right into some hypocritical or reasonable. Hypocritical or reasonable one for a solo one. I haven't done this, so this is great. So hypocritical or reasonable. Meta verified. People are paying $14.99 if you're an iPhone user for meta verification, which is the blue check status, the verification, and they want to talk about whether it's hypocritical or reasonable for people to do it. Now, well, actually, I can't really say whether it's hypocritical or reasonable, because everything is based off the person itself. I don't know what the reasonings are, and I don't know if it's hypocritical of them, So everybody it's on an individual case by case, I feel like at least. And then It depends on what their preferences are, or what they were saying, right? So I guess for the sake of this conversation, I would say it'd be better if I say, is it hypocritical of Instagram or is it reasonable of Instagram? We'll just go with that one, right? So here's my little thing about that one. Is it hypocritical or reasonable for Instagram to do that? Well, I would say depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at it from a business point of view, then it's reasonable. There was I forget the exact number or the stat from it that it was. I think it was like something like 2.4 million. Matter of fact, let me get you the exact one. Hold on, bear with me. The exact one. It was just like a data thing or a metric that showed. Oh, here it is again. It said Instagram sold 44 million blue checks in one day. Now they're rounding up, right? So instead of $14.99, they're just saying $15. Right? A month, mind you. That's 666 million from the time they launched it, just one day. 666 million, right? So from a business aspect, it's like, I get why they would, especially if you look at like the landscape of everything going more subscription based, right? Spotify, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, ESPN Plus, Disney, Apple TV, there's like Google Plus now, YouTube Red. Everything has a plus now, right? So if everything's going subscription based, it makes sense as a business for Instagram to be like, check out this new feature, right? Because a lot of people want that verification. For whatever reason, people want, I guess it's more so not just verification because it just validates them, but also it's like an impression thing, right? So I'm kind of stuck in it too because I'm not gonna lie, the only reason why I do want the blue check and the verification is not because of validation for everybody else or to make myself seem popular or fame. Literally don't give a fuck about that. It's really the not even say authenticity, but it's the reach that you can get, right? So I guess it does kind of make it authentic in that if me as an independent podcaster and who's running a podcast independently, if I want to get the guests that I want to get, if I want to network with the people that I want to network and collab with the people that I want to collaborate, they're gonna look at you more serious if you do have that blue check, and you're more likely to get that guest in or get that call. So on that aspect, I want to use it as a tool, or you know what I'm saying, in my arsenal, if that makes sense. So I definitely understand that. I'm not gonna say it's hypocritical of Instagram because I don't got like a gauge or a gauge to be like, why would it be hypocritical of Instagram to do that? You know what I'm saying? And I guess one argument that you can make for it is maybe that, you know, it's prior to this Meta verified thing, you were verified on Instagram. It wasn't because of amount of followers. It wasn't because of clout or something like that. From my understanding, you know, mind you, I'm dumb as shit, so take this with a grain of salt. But from my understanding, you can get verification when you have some type of status, and you can get verification if you can verify, you know, to say exactly who you are, your exact identity, and have some type of like research. Like if people could Google you and you have some type of resume or multiple, like a website that's also and also linked other backed up account, or also it's just something, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be just because you're famous, from my understanding, right? Whoa. So I guess one argument you can make, if you do want to make it, is Instagram could be hypocritical in that because with this Meta verified, it just verifies you as a person, that it is truly you, that your name matches your driver's license, that matches your date of birth, you know, and that you are an actual person, right? So if the main thing of it is being Meta verified, that is verifying you as a person, then why was that not an option since the very beginning? Now, granted, maybe not very beginning, because it was like, when did Instagram launch? Like 2011, 10, 11, something like that, right? 11, maybe 12, I don't know, something like that. And at that time, there wasn't a subscription base, but why now? But again, this is me playing devil's advocate and trying to make the argument for both. But that was just what I'm thinking about, right? So hypocritical or reasonable? I'm going to go with reasonable from a business aspect or a business point, right? Now, kind of keeping it back in business, I guess in the same field for hypocritical or reasonable, The U.S. dollar, the value of the U.S. dollar. China, Saudi Arabia, these other places that I can't even freaking think about right now, but a bunch of different countries are pulling their currency out and removing our currency, right, the U.S. currency from their thing, or it's not accepting it, or something's going on with the U.S. dollar, right? They're saying it's not like basically the value of the dollar is going down, and they feel like it's not going to be like it's just not going to. God, I wish I had it up right here to, bring it up. Very professional on my end. But basically, the people are scared that are worried about the value of the dollar going down. They're saying that it's going to happen, right? So, is it hypocritical or reasonable for the countries to kind of separate themselves from it and do it like that? I guess I would say, because I'm definitely an expert on this thing, right? I would say it is very hypocritical of the other countries. And I'm going to say, because where do you draw the line, right? Or what exactly, is it just the US dollar? Or is it like, you know what I'm saying? Is it pounds too? Is it, what is it? Not gems, but what is the other one? There's another one I forget. I'm not the best at this, right? But I guess I could say, yeah, it's hypocritical because I watch. Where is it going to stop? Where is it going to go? What other currency is getting pulled? Is there any currency being pulled? Is it just the U.S.? Are you still doing business with it? What are you trying to, what do you know what I mean? What are the tariffs going to be like? You know what I'm saying? As far as trades and everything go? I don't know. But that's why a lot of people say to invest in gold, because gold's always going to go up in value, or at least hold its value, right? And because we know what the hell's going on with crypto and all these other places, right? Did you invest in crypto? I didn't. Especially with all this stuff going on with people losing their lives now. The dude that created Cash App someone stabbed him in San Francisco to death. What is going on? You think Cash App is gonna be the one that's gonna go next? Or like Zelle, Venmo, and all that shit? I don't know. I think stuff started getting weird when they did that 600, like, you know what I'm saying? Like over the 600 limit, it's supposed to be like taxed or included in some type of tax thingy. I don't know. I forget what it was. But a lot of crazy stuff like that. That, again, I don't know if I'm the smartest person to talk about it, especially because this isn't that type of fucking podcast where I would talk about it, because I'm definitely not there. But what I do want to say, too, is that I've been enjoying doing these like recap videos on my phone lately. And I like doing these recap videos. So if you guys check out my Instagram, right, Albert_Fig. On Instagram, I do a lot of like recaps of stuff, like reels, mainly reels, right? And it's so simple and everything because I'm not doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's all shot on my phone. I'm like, I could use my camera, I could do all that, but it's like, I'm just doing it more so like because I enjoy the process of creating it, right? So yeah, I want to get more of doing it, and I've been doing them more, not necessarily to just try to get reach or try to get work, but honestly just to see how things come to life from the very beginning of it to the end, kind of like the podcast stuff, right? But it's different in that I'm not doing these reels as a business, or maybe I'm thinking of it as wrong. Maybe I can, but it's really cool to do it simple. It's not something that's very demanding. It's like I get my phone, I just record random videos, and then at the end I put it in a big ass mix and I get it all together. So you guys should check those out. When you get a chance, let me know if I'm doing something good with it, or if they're annoying, or if I'm making myself seem like something I'm not. Because, I'm not like a food traveler or a person that just travels all around and does like recap stuff. I'm just recapping stuff that I'm already either involved in, being a part of, or something that I just did in my day life. You know what I mean? So let me know how those are. Check them out. Solo one coming in clutch, very quick, and nothing crazy over here, mine. But check out the podcasts. Not podcasts. Check out the previous episodes if you haven't already. There's a lot of good stuff in them. Some of them are hilarious, and then some of them you get to know the people more. At least I hope that you do, and then we're able to kind of let people express themselves, So check those out. Thank you for tuning in for this one. Another solo one is definitely do sooner rather than later. Maybe not wait 5 episodes. You know what I mean? I definitely want to incorporate a more and more in between all those. But yeah, thank you for all the love, yo. Thank you for checking in each time, tapping in and sharing when you do and listening to them or watching them. But if you are one of the people that watch these and are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Help your boy out. Subscribe. Matter of fact, go do it right now. Subscribe. Peace.